Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English, and this is your favorite YouTuber Mukesh Soni. Friends, in this video we shall have the discussion of the 2023 examination question paper under Bangalore University 4th semester BA, BA Music, BFA, BBA and BSW subjects, BSW courses under Generic English. So let's have the discussion of 4th semester BA 2023 examination question paper under BU. So here, to begin with, we have here unit number 1 that consists of questions from the novella and the TED Talk. So unit number 1 has a weightage for 40 marks. So here the section one answer the following questions in the 2 sentences each. So you will be given here 7 questions and you need to opt here only 5 questions, and these questions are going to be asked from the novel of Mice and Men. So very first question from the novella for the 2 marks. What does Lenny have in his pocket at the beginning of the novella? Lenny had a dead mouse. How is George described? George is described as a small, wary, and wily hustler who is quick his feet and sharp to boot. George travels around the countryside with his childhood companion Lenny, looking for work on the ranches and migrant farms across California. Then John Steinbeck begins the novella of Mice and Men by describing a mouse, a man, a nature, or a city. So the option C is the correct answer, nature. What does George tell Lenny to do if he gets in trouble? As the night falls, George tells Lenny that if he encounters any trouble while working at the ranch, he should return to his clearing, hide in the bushes, and wait for George to come. So what's the instruction is given? If he gets himself in a trouble, he should come back to this clearing and hide in the bushes, and he should wait for George to come. Then who is the only man to understand the bond between Lenny and George? It is Candy. It is the only one person who understands the relationship between Lenny and George, that is Candy. Why does George say that migrant workers who travel from farm to farm are the loneliest people in the world? Why does George say like this? Because they don't have any family, they don't belong anywhere, and they have nothing to look forward to. That's the reason behind it. According to Crooks, why does a person need a companion? He says that the reason is here, if someone doesn't have anybody to talk, they will go insane. So that's the reason that a person needs a companion. Now you have here 5 marks questions from the novella of Mice and Men, and here again you have 3 questions. You need to attempt only 2 questions each for 5 marks. So 2 marks done. Now 5 marks questions. Why does Carlson shoot Candy's dog? Question number 1 for 5 marks. Carlson shoots Candy's dog because it is old, sick, and no longer able to work as a sheep dog. Carlson is unable to see that the dog still has value as Candy's friend and companion. This assertion reveals how in the world of migrant laborers the companionship is so rare and undervalued that many laborers don't even recognize a loving relationship when they do see it. The shooting of Candy's dog is also framed as a merciful act intended to prevent the dog's suffering, which foreshadows George's decision to shoot Lenny rather than let him be imprisoned or tortured by Curly. How is the theme of dream shown in the novel of Mice and Men? The theme of dream is introduced at the start of the novella of Mice and Men through George's description to Lenny of the farm, and they hope one day they should also have their own farm. They continue to discuss, and even Candy also involves in it and make it finally seem possible. This dream is very important to the men because it represents freedom and having control over their own lives, which they do not have while moving around looking for work. Dreams in the novel of Mice and Men are linked to the American dream. This is linked to the United States Declaration of Independence, which mentions that all men are created equal. For the men on the ranch in Of Mice and Men, having dreams gives them some hope that their hard work will be rewarded. Curly's wife also has a dream to be a film star, and although she no longer has any real hope that this could come true, that gives her a distraction from the unhappiness of her life, which is also the truth of dreams for the other characters. All the dreams are initially a source of hope in the novel. Lenny's death makes his and George's dreams impossible. So, as the novel ends, we see that even simple, modest dreams are unattainable, unreachable in the harsh environment of America during the Great Depression. Third question, draw the character sketch of George Milton. George is a proactive man who has been caring for his friend Lenny for a long time. These two men are not related but have been friends since they were children, as well as enjoying his company. George also feels responsible for his welfare. George often talks to Lenny about the dream. Due to Lenny's mental disability, George has to take the responsibility for Lenny and finds this very stressful and very frustrating so many times due to Lenny getting into trouble. This results in outbursts of anger towards Lenny at certain points in the novella, although George regrets these very fast. George recognizes that his friendship with Lenny is very special because men like George would not have had friendship due to moving around so much for work. It would have been very unusual for the two men to travel around together due to the work being scarce. They didn't have work. George is a very small, quick-witted man. His intelligence contrasts with Lenny's throughout the book, as does his size. Very hefty person, George often has to think quickly in order to cover up for Lenny's mistakes. Finally, he feels forced to shoot his best friend Lenny in order to protect him from Curly and the other man who George believes that would have been tortured Lenny if they would have found them, if they would have found him very first. Third question, fourth question, why do George and Lenny travel together? What's the reason that they travel together? George and Lenny, they travel together because they have known each other since their childhood, and a natural friendship has been developed over time. George explains the history when he reveals to Slim. George says that him and me was both born in Auburn. I knowed his aunt Clara. She took him in when he was a baby and raised him up. When his aunt Clara died, Lenny just come along with me out working. Got kinda used to each other after a little while, so that he promised in this manner to Lenny's aunt Clara that he will be looking after Lenny. So that's the reason that both of them they always travel together. George explains to Slim that even though Lenny can be a challenge, their relationship and their companionship make life better for both of them. So now, so far we have discussed here 2 marks questions, 5 marks questions from the question paper 2023. And you can also watch my videos on all the questions of Mice and Men, 2 marks, 5 marks, 10 marks, summary of Mice and Men. So the links are available in the description box. Kindly go through it. Now we have 10 marks questions from the Of Mice and Men novel. And out of 2 questions, you need to answer here only 1 question. So the question number 1, describe the setting of the novella Of Mice and Men. So here I have given quite lengthy answer, and this answer will help you to answer any question which appears from this novella. So I hope so. This is quite a very capsule, universal answer for any question for 10 marks. Of Mice and Men is a novella written by Nobel Prize winning author John Steinbeck, published in 1937. It tells the tragic story of George Milton and Lenny Small, two displaced migrant ranch workers during the Great Depression in California. Based on Steinbeck's own experience as a Bindle stiff in 1920s. The title is taken from Robert Burns' famous poem To a Mouse. The novel takes place in the California Valley along the Salinas River. There are two settings for the action. Number one, the banks of the Salinas River and the nearby ranch. Ranch means a place where all the cattle are kept. Farmhouse, simple way. George Milton, small and smart, and his friend Lenny Small, a large man with mild retardation, are on the way to jobs at a ranch. They are in search of job, and they reach at a ranch. They stop by the Salinas River to take a break from their long walk. Lenny cannot remember where they are going, and George gets annoyed, and he reminds Lenny about the jobs. Lenny looks in his pocket for his work card and finds a dead mouse, which he found by the side of the road, and he kept this one in his pocket because Lenny likes to pet soft animals like mice and puppies. But he's very strong and often kills his in such kind of delicate pets. Lenny tries to hide his mouse from George, who demands it from him and throws it across the river. So when George came to know that Lenny had a dead mouse in his pocket, George took it and threw it across the river. That evening, Lenny goes to find his mouse, which makes George very angry. He argues with Lenny, but soon feels very bad and he tries to console him. George tells Lenny how one day soon they will own a farm of their own. They will have their own farmhouse, own land. They will grow their own food and have rabbits, which Lenny can easily look after. The next morning, so that's a dream, right? The next morning, Lenny and George, they both arrive at the ranch. The boss is annoyed because they are quite late. The boss' son, Curly, is a small man who hates big guys like Lenny. He and George have a small confrontation. Soon after Curly leaves, Curly's wife enters. Her provocative dress and pose make George very anxious. George wants Lenny to be away from Curly and his wife. Two more workers, Slim and Carlson, they come into the bunkhouse. Slim's dog just had puppies, and Lenny's anxious to have something soft to pet. Carlson suggests that Candy, an old man and fellow worker, Carlson suggests that Candy should kill his old, smelly sheepdog and take one of Slim's puppies. Slim gives Lenny a puppy, and puppy means a small dog, not that puppy. And he spends much of the evening out in the barn petting it. Who is petting? Lenny. George tells Slim what happened at their last job. They were run out of town after Lenny unintentionally assaulted a woman. That's the reason that they ran away. The woman went to the police, and Lenny and George had to leave the town due to Lenny. Candy comes in with his dog, and Carlson starts pressuring him to let him kill it. The dog is old and arthritic, but Candy has had him for many years. Since he's the only one who wants to keep the dog, Candy reluctantly gives in and he allows Carlson to shoot his old friend. Dog is killed. George and Lenny start talking again about the farm. They hope to get Candy overhears and ask if he could also join to get the new farm. He has some money saved up, so George decides he can come. Curly comes into the bunkhouse. When he sees a smile on Lenny's face, he imagines that Lenny's laughing at him. So Curly attacks Lenny, who doesn't want to fight. In defense, Lenny grabs Curly's hand and badly breaks it without knowing what he has done. Lenny's so strong. That evening, everyone goes into the town except for Crooks, the crippled Negro stable buck, and Candy, Lenny, Curly's wife. Crook lives alone in the barn because he's black. Lenny comes in looking for his puppy, and he and Crooks start talking. Crooks expresses his feelings of loneliness. Lenny tells Crook about the farm, but Crooks is doubtful. After listening to Candy for a few minutes, Crooks changes his mind and asks if there might be a place for him on the farm. Curly's wife comes into the barn, making all the men uncomfortable. Candy tells her to leave. She gets mad and criticizes them in the dream, making Crooks angry. She harshly reminds him he is just a worker and a black worker. Crooks silently hangs his head. There is a sound of the man returning, so Curly's wife leaves. As Candy is leaving, Crooks tells him he wouldn't be interested in coming with them after all. The next afternoon, Lenny is in the barn alone with his puppy. He accidentally killed it with his strong hands while petting. Cully's wife comes in. She sits down next to Lenny. She tells him how she could have been in the movies, but Lenny continues rambling about the rabbits on the farm. When she finds out how much Lenny likes soft things, she offers to let him touch her hair. Lenny strokes too hard and she gets frightened. He tries to quiet her and accidentally breaks a neck. Lenny runs and hides by the banks of the river. Candy finds Curly's wife and goes to tell George. The other men come in and see what happened and they get their guns. They want to find Lenny and kill him. Lenny is sitting by the banks of the river. George shows up and he assures Lenny he's not mad at him. Lenny wants to hear about that piece of land they are going to get and the rabbits for him to tend, to take care, to look after, to nurture. George tells him when the men are nearby there, George shoots Lenny in the head. The men appear. Curly and Carlson congratulate George. Slim understands George did not want to shoot Lenny and he leads him away, offering him comfort and a drink. This is how the novel of Mice and Men ends here with the death of Lenny. George did not want that Lenny should be killed by the other man. That's the reason he kills him. Second question, what are the main themes of the novella of Mice and Men? There are different themes running through the novel of Mice and Men, and they are linked primarily to George and Lenny as the central characters of the novel. They plan to have their own farm, highlights the theme of dreams, which also involves Candy and Crooks, as well as Cully's wife. George and Lenny's unusual friendship introduces the idea of companionship while also contrasting with the loneliness experienced by the characters such as Cully's wife, Crooks, and Candy. So we find here there are three important themes in the novel of Mice and Men: dreams, loneliness, and companionship. Theme of dreams. The theme of dreams is introduced at the start of the book or the novel through George's description to Lenny of the farm that they want to have one day together. They continue to discuss this throughout the text, which Candy also gets involved in this dream and make it finally possible. This dream is very important to the man, to those guys, because it represents freedom and having control over their own lives, which they do not have while moving around looking for jobs. Dream in Of Mice and Men are linked to the American dream. This is the idea that in America, it's possible for anyone to achieve success and improve their lives through their hard work. This is linked to the US Declaration of Independence, which mentions that all men are created equal. For the man on the ranch in Of Mice and Men, having dreams gives them some hope that their hard work will be rewarded. Theme of loneliness. The name of the town close to the ranch where the novel is set is Soledad, which translates from Spanish to solitude. So, loneliness is immediately established as an important theme in Of Mice and Men. Most of the characters on the ranch are lonely. George and Lenny stand out because of the friendship that means they are not isolated, and this is very unusual, making some others suspicious of them. Steinbeck shows how the lifestyle that the men lead is very damaging to the relationships, making them the lack of compassion for others. The loneliest character in the novel are Candy, Crooks, and Cully's wife. All these characters are different to the others on the ranch. Candy is older than the others. Crooks is the only black man, and Cully's wife is the only woman. These factors make the characters isolated, and the men on the ranch show no empathy towards them. Instead, making them more isolated by treating them very badly. Theme of companionship. Companionship in Of Mice and Men is primarily demonstrated through the friendship of George and Lenny, as there are no other meaningful relationships between the people in the novella. The unusualness of the bond is emphasized throughout the novel, particularly through the contrast with the other characters who are isolated and lonely. Apart from Slim, the men on the ranch find it difficult to understand why George and Lenny are friends, why they live together. So these are the three important themes. Many of the other characters are searching for companionship, but they are unable to find it. By the end of the novel, all the characters are lonely. Sorry, all of the characters are lonely in some way. Even George, who has now lost his friendship with Lenny because Lenny is no more. George and Lenny's friendship was the only friendship evident in the text. Last question for 10 marks. Why does Lenny have a dead mouse in his pocket, and how is Lenny different from other men? As the story begins, Lenny has a dead mouse in his pocket because he likes to pet soft things but doesn't know his own strength and accidentally killed the mouse when he pet it too hard. When George realizes that Lenny had a dead mouse in his pocket, he asks him what he would want a dead mouse anyways. Lenny explains that he could pet it with thumb while walked alone. Even after George throws the mouse in the woods, Lenny finds it and tries to hide it once again, saying, I was not doing nothing bad with it, George, just stroking it. The dead mouse introduces Lenny's clear obsession with the soft things and the unintentional destruction of them, which shows the future events in the story. Lenny is George's friend, and both of them they travel together. Lenny has a mental disability, making him dependent upon George to manage his day-to-day life in the difficult environment in which they live and they work. Lenny is physically very strong but cannot control himself, leading to escalating the acts of accidental violence in the novel. He's obsessed with the stroking soft things such as animal fur. This starts with mice, which he kills, then it leads to puppy, which he also kills, and before the tragic death of Curly's wife when he strokes her hair. So he has killed three persons, mice, puppy, as well as a human being, Curly's wife. He doesn't mean to cause harm, but is not aware of his own physical power. Lenny is very innocent and sweet, natured. He always means well and is focused on simple pleasures, which his dream with George reminds the reader of. He lacks awareness of social conventions, so does not feel the same racism and prejudice against women that many of the other male characters feel. Lenny is happy to walk to Crooks and Cully's wife, despite them being rejected by the other characters on the ranch. Lenny only gets angry or aggressive when he feels that his friendship with George is getting threatened. For example, when Crooks suggests that George might abandon Lenny, Lenny reacts very angrily, worried that Crooks is threatening violence against his friend. So this is how we have solved here 30 marks questions from the novel of Mice and Men. Now we have next 10 marks questions from the TED Talks and the two important poems. So here you need to attempt 2 questions out of 4 questions. Number 1, what do the wandering singers sing about? It's from the poem. The wandering singers have no fixed house, no fixed abode. They are forever on the road, led to ever new places by the voice of the wind. Whether they are traveling through streets or the forest, the places echo with their songs. The wandering singers sing about cities which are once great and famous. They sing about the laughter and the beauty of women who died long ago. They also sing about the old battles and the king of past, happy, simple, and the sad things. They are the themes of wandering singers' songs. Through these songs, the listeners learn something of history and the folklores as they sing of cities, battles, women, and kings from the past. As far as the mood of the poem is concerned, the listeners can feel the fascination, curiosity, admiration, sadness, excitement as they hear about cities that used to be grand, women who used to be happy, beautiful, and the battles which were very much bravely fought, and the kings who were great, but none of them exist anymore. Question number two. How is the theme of operation shown in the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou? Still I Rise is about self-respect and confidence. In the poem, Maya Angelou reveals how she will overcome anything through her self-esteem. She knows how nothing can get her down. She will rise to any occasion and nothing, not even her skin color, will hold her back. Still I Rise is a poem by Maya Angelou in a similarly titled book of poetry published in 1978, focuses on the importance of perseverance and persistence. The poet describes the way people judge her and the obstacles she faces and the adversity in her life. However, after describing any obstacle that she meets around, she demonstrates a positive attitude and that she does not let her problems bring her down. She continues to rise. In the poem, Maya Angelou talks directly to her oppressors about how she has overcome her difficulties. She mentions, I rise, repeatedly to show that she was able to rise even after they have knocked her down. The first stanza of the poem starts with stating how words have no power over her. The second stanza tells about the confidence and a positive attitude that the narrator possesses. The third stanza is that the comparison of certainty of nature with a resilience and determination to rise against challenges. The fourth stanza tells that the society would like to see the character as weak and broken because of the struggles she has faced. The fifth stanza talks about the attitude she actually has and the confidence she has grown despite all the problems she had to overcome and what kind of person she is. In the sixth stanza, she is confronting those attempting to beat her down and opposes her. In these lines, the narrator says that she is unstoppable. You cannot stop her, and that she will rise no matter what they do or what they say. The seventh stanza focuses on the importance of power and the confidence of the narrator as a woman. The eighth stanza talks about her struggles as an African American person and how she had dealt with them. The last stanza tells the audience about what the narrator is leaving behind and all that she has gained through her fighting and perseverance. Hence, the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou explores so many themes like oppression, hope, resilience, race, racism, and sexism. So that's about the poem Still I Rise. Now you have another question, a theory question from the TED Talk topic. You don't have the question from the TED Talks. You have a question about the nature of TED Talk. So what is TED Talk? Explain the scope of TED Talk. So I have done a very special video on this descriptive question from the topic TED Talk. Kindly watch that video. You will get all the questions answered. So now here, 1 minute. Yeah, what is TED Talk? A TED Talk is a recorded public speaking presentation that was originally given at the main TED, that means Technology, Entertainment and Design TED annual event, or even or one of its many satellite events around the world. TED is a global community welcoming people from every discipline and culture who seek a deeper understanding of the world. People believe passionately in the power of ideas to change attitudes, lives, and ultimately the world. Now, what's the scope? The TED Talk covers a wide range of topics aiming to spread ideas through short, powerful talks. So we can see the TED Talk's scope in the following areas. Number one, technology, where we talk about innovations, breakthroughs, future trends in the technology. Entertainment, which talks about creative art, storytelling, performances. Design, which themes about architecture, product design, and the user experience. Science, which deals with discoveries, advancements in the various scientific fields, global issues, business, education, personal development, culture. So these are the different arenas where the TED Talks are growing, and people get the opportunity to express the opinions and to change the lives of the people, to change the attitudes of the people. So friends, now we have 20 marks questions. So far we have discussed here 40 marks questions from the question paper. Now we have remaining 20 marks questions. So before I begin the 20 marks questions discussion, let me tell you the answers for those 20 marks questions are not limited. I have just given the sample answers. You can also add your own creativity, because creativity has no boundaries. So you can also add your answer. My answers are just a specimen or the sample answer. Kind to refer to the prescribed textbook for the further reference. Answer any one of the following questions. So you have here 4 questions. In this one, you have 5th part is here. Answer any one of the following questions. Here, you'll be asked here 2 questions. One from Pechakucha presentation, one from group discussion. So you need to create the Pechakucha presentation like the 3rd semester. And next you have here group discussion script. So first question, prepare a Pechakucha presentation text by keeping the following image as a reference. So you have here 3-4 images which gives the different meanings, right? Which gives the different references. So keeping in mind, you need to create the Pechakucha presentations like this. Now let me tell you, it's not so easy to create Pechakucha presentation from the examination point of view, because in the Pechakucha presentation, images play a very important role. If you are able to draw some images, your Pechakucha presentation will be more effective. So the format you have to keep in the mind, Then keeping in the mind, you need to prepare those slides like this, how you did in the previous semester. So follow the rules of Pechakucha presentation. Watch my video on how to prepare the Pechakucha presentation, but you have to prepare in this manner only. Now you have one more option. If you don't like the Pechakucha presentation, then you can opt a question on the group discussion conversation on should junk food be banned. Means to say a topic will be given. You need to create a script for the GD, for the group discussion. So remember, when you create the script, you have a moderator for the group discussion, then you have the participants, 4-5 participants. So you need to create the dialogues linking with each and everyone's dialogue. So it is just a simple answer on your screen. You can pause the video and you need to prepare the group discussion script like this. Watch my special video on how to prepare the group discussion script. The link is available in the description box as well as in the playlist. Then 6th section of the question paper, where you need to opt any one question from circular, travelogue, and article writing. So you have here 3 questions, opt any one, whichever you like. So under this section, you have here, 1 minute, you have here circular. You are the managing director of vibrant group of companies. As per the board meeting held, you have to inform the employees of your company about revised working hours of the company from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So draft a circular letter to convey the message to the employees regarding this new timing. So it's a circular. So circular can be prepared in this format according to your textbook. So vibrant group of companies, date and circular. As per the board meeting held on 1st July, it was decided that working hours of the company is revised from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. All the employees are instructed to abide it without fail. The ERP system will also function as per the revised timing. Signed, MD, vibrant group of companies. So refer to my special video on circular writing. The link is in the description box. So all the complete year 4th semester BA, all each and every topic left, I have not left any stone untouched. So if you watch my videos, definitely it's going to help you a lot. Next question you have here, in option to this question, you have here travel writing on your visit to a historical place. So you can pause the video and you can just go through this travel writing which I have written here. So any place which you have visited, you just write your experience, when did you start, what did you watch. So generally we write travel writing in the past tense because we share the past experiences. So it comes under the category of travelogue. So it's a part of the creative writing. Then the third question you have here, an article, write an article on an unforgettable experience in your life. Again, this is again going to assess your writing skill. So writing article, you need to keep in the mind the topic, and you need to link all the ideas and use the simple vocabulary without any grammatical error. You can pause the video and you can read this title, this article. So any article may appear. So you have here three questions: circular, travelogue, article writing. Attempt any one, whichever you feel easy and scoring one, I would say. Now you have here the seventh section of the question paper. Here again, you need to opt one question out of three. So you have the choices here. You have email writing and letter writing. So it's your choice whether you would like to attempt email or letter writing. Let's see the number of questions. So what is casual email? Draft casual email to your friend, inviting him to your house warming ceremony. So meaning of casual email, that means to say, which include the idioms in very slang language. In both formal and casual emails, it's very important to be brief, direct, positive, and you can achieve it in different manners. So generally, when we are writing email, we follow the format to whom we are writing, the receiver's mail ID, subject, salutation, content, and finally close it saying regards, best wishes, etc. Pause the video, read the email content, and also watch my special video on email writing. The link is in description box. As the International Conference Organizing Secretary, you have successfully completed the international conference held in your college. Write a letter of appreciation to the organizing committee of your college for their outstanding support in hosting the conference. So as I told you, in this section, you have email as well as letter. So whichever you feel, you can attempt it. So you have here letter writing, appreciation letter. So obviously, when you write the letter, we have the format, sender's name and address, date, receiver's name or designation and address, salutation, subject, body of the letter, and closing remark. Pause the video, go through it, and also watch my special video on letter writing, the format of letter writing, and the different kinds of letter writing with sample answer. Links are in the description box. Then you have a letter to congratulate your friend for passing the NEET examination. Oh my God, NEET examination with the top score and getting a medical seat in a prestigious college. We get afraid of this word NEET, and this word has appeared in the last year's question paper. God save. So it's very informal writing, congratulation letter. So you can write even without sender's address also, as you're writing to your friend. Pause the video and go through the content. Watch my videos on letter writing. Last question you have here, last section you have here. So three sections we have done, 5 to 315, and last we have another 5 marks question where you have blog writing, writing on Facebook and Quora. So you have plenty of choices. Attempt anyone, whichever you wish to do it. So writing skill is given more importance in this section here. Attempt writing a blog on New Year celebrations with friends. So you need to write, I'm sorry, you need to, 1 minute. You need to write the blog. Okay. You need to write the blog and then write an Instagram, Facebook post on tourist destination. So when you're writing Instagram, Facebook post, obviously you need to design it, and you need to add some picture, you need to have some hashtags so that you can make it more impressive. People should read it, people should follow it, people should click on the like button to your Instagram caption or to your Facebook content. Last question, career options after graduation, write a Quora. So what I thought that, see, writing on Quora is also as similar as you write for any of the platform. It's again your creativity, what you want to convey. If you're writing on Quora, you are very, very free to write in your own words. So the more systematically you write, the more followers you will receive here. So I have taken a screenshot from the Quora website about this person, Anukriti Singh, how she's answered this question. It's just a simple answer. Again, I would say that answer might differ from you, from your answer also, but at the end of the day, I would say the creativity differs, your creative writing also differs. Only one thing, the way we present, that's more important. The vocabulary we use it, the grammar, without any grammatical errors, our presentation matters a lot. Either we are writing for Quora or Instagram or the blog writing or for the Facebook. So this is how I would say, this is how the brief picture of your syllabus. You can pause the video, you can go through. This is the syllabus of the fourth semester BA, fourth semester BA Generic English under under Bangalore University, fourth semester BA under Bangalore University. This is the syllabus you have here. So now, so friends, this is how I try to solve the question paper of the fourth semester BA Generic English under Bangalore University, question paper 2023. So I hope you have liked this video, and I wish you good luck for the forthcoming examination. Subscribe the video, click on the like button. How do you like it? Come write in the comment box. Share this video to your friends, to your well-wishers, to your classmates. Let everybody get benefited from this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.